Hello, everyone. You're welcome to TM Handcraft, where we impact lives. Today, we are going to be learning how to make a straight palazzo pants. So, please, if you know you've not subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we post new videos. Also, like this video, comment on it, and tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to subscribe to this channel. Thank you. So, to begin, so the first thing you're going to do is to put your material on fold. This material you're seeing here is going to be enough for the front part of the trouser. So the trouser is going to have a 1.5 inches waistband. It's going to be at the waist part. So you're going to mark that out before you measure. So from the top, you're going to measure 8 inches. That is the hip line. You're going to mark that out. 8 inches is the hip line for this particular palazzo trouser. So you do that according to your hip measurement. So having done that, the next measurement we're going to be taking is the crotch measurement. The crotch measurement is 11 inches. Also note that you're going to still leave out the 1.5 inches for the waistband. For you to get the measurement for your crotch, all you have to do is to sit on a stool and measure from your waist to the top of the stool. Just go down by 4 inches and you get your lap measurement. So the next thing you're going to do is to take your hip measurement, your round hip measurement, divide it by 4. When you divide it by 4, you take 1 extra inch just for the stitching allowance and mark it. Your hip measurement divided by 4, then you add 1 inch allowance for sewing. So on the crotch line, you're going to take 2 inches. So what you have to do is to use your rule to connect from the waist to down to the crotch line, then curve in to that 2 inches you measured. If you're on the big side, all you have to do is to increase your crotch measurements with 2.5 or 3 inches. Now to measure the waistline, you have to divide your waist measurement by 4 and add 2 inches sewing allowance, then connect the waistline to the hip line. So for the lap measurement, divide your lap measurement by 2 and just add 1 inch sewing allowance. That is all you have to do for the lap, then connect it. So the next thing you're going to do is to mark the full measurement. Also take note of that 1.5 inch at the top, at the waistline. So the full measurement for this trouser is 40 inches, but you're going to be taking 43 inches just to so that you'll be able to fold the hem very well. So just connect the lines. So you just try to connect the lines, and this is what we have for the front measurements. So you cut that out. So this is it for the front measurement, and you're going to use these front measurements to cut the back. Also note that when you're cutting out a material for the back measurement, you have to get a material that is way wider than the one you used for the front, because extra allowance is going to be added to the back of the trouser. So also take note of the 1.5 waist waistband allowance. So what you do is to add 2 inches to the waistline and the hip line, then add 2.5 inches to the crotch line. Then you connect that. Also know that you can add extra inch to the crouch line if you're on the big side. To the lap area, you're going to add 2 inches as well. Then add 2 inches to every other part going down. So in order to achieve the waist measurement, the waistband measurement, all you have to do is to go up by 2 inches. For the back of the trouser, go up by 2 inches. Then we have 9 inches at the waistline for the front measurement. So what you have to do is to mark the same exact 9 inch from that waistline. Just have to watch closely. Now it's going to be in a slanted form. Mark the same 9 inch. Then remove the front piece and connect it to the waistline. Connect it to the hip line. So that's all for the back measurements. I just hope you look closely to get this measurement correctly. Remember, you add 2 inches to the top and slant it down, marking the same measurement you have in front. So all you have to do is to cut out the back measurements. So now we are through with all the cutting. What you have to do now is to sew from the waist to the crotch of both the front and the back. So the next thing you're going to do is to use your nipple to nipple measurement to mark out the measurements for your dart. If your nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches, all you have to do is measure 4 inches for your dart measurement and sew it down. So your dart. So here is it. So this is the back, and you have to place the front part of the trouser to the back, and you go to your sewing machine and stitch from top to down. But for this palazzo trouser, it's going to have a zipper by the side. So all you have to do is to take the measurement of the zip and start from there while sewing down. So after doing that, the next thing you're going to do is to sew the middle part together. And before you do that, I would advise you use an office pin to ensure the two sides of the crotch are aligned. You can do that with your office pin and make sure you secure the both sides of the crotch. So while sewing, it won't have to shift. So after you've held it with your office pin, you go ahead to sew that middle part. So the next thing you're going to do is to the band for the waist has been cut out, and stay was used for the band, but that is optional. That is if you want. So having done that, you're going to be adding the waistband to the trouser. So on the waist part, the band is going to be having a button and a buttonhole. So the waistband has an excess of about 1.5 inch, which you're going to stitch. So you're going to start from from the 1.5 inch that you've measured and join the trouser. So you have to watch carefully. The waistband was stitched with about 1.5 inch at that the beginning point. Then what you have to do now is to attach the other part to the trouser. So the final thing you're going to do is to fold the hem of the trouser and stitch. After doing that, what you have to do is to give the trouser a good press and you'll be done. You can as well use this same cutting and sewing for every other trouser. Please do well to subscribe to this channel and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.